On tonight's episode of Obscured Reality, join us as we take a drive into the mountains of Provo Canyon, Utah, and see what's going on with all these Bigfoot sightings. From old to new, let's take a look at 4 different videos and see what we think. Let's see what you think. Sit down, sit back, and relax, and join us on our journey through Obscured Reality.
Welcome to another episode of Obscured Reality. Join your hosts, Mark and Stephanie, as they take you through a journey of the extraordinary, bizarre, and often frightening world of the unknown. Explore topics of the paranormal, UFOs, alien abduction, lost civilizations, mythical monsters, and other unexplained mysteries. Come along with us as we transcend into another dimension of obscured reality.
Welcome back to Obscured Reality. I'm your host, Mark. Joining me again tonight, your co-host, Stephanie. How's it going?
Good. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good.
I am good.
Good.
You want to see a picture?
Yes. Always. Well, wait.
Yeah? Okay.
Not always.
What? Whoa.
Look, there are some crazy things that people can Google out there, like blue waffles. And then they say,
I was just gonna say blue waffle.
and then they're like, hey, you want to see a picture? And you're like, yeah, thank you. It's innocent. And it's a picture of a blue waffle. So,
yeah, don't look it up, folks.
Don't.
Actually, do look it up. It's obscure. There's our sunset tonight.
That's beautiful. Palm trees.
It's all right. There's a few more colors there, but yeah.
No,
right.
Those were actually probably the prettiest sunsets I had ever seen when I lived out there. Like the desert.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Yeah. So I've lived in a desert twice, Arizona and California, and each time the sunsets were just like uncomparable to anything that I've seen in the Midwest. Yeah.
Huh. I got some more pictures for you. I'm not going to show them to you right now, though. Maybe after.
As long as it's not a blue waffle.
Maybe. No. So what any guesses what we might be talking about tonight?
Honestly, it's always a crapshoot, so I have no idea.
This is true. Crapshoots are good. I like them. I like surprising people. I like being surprised.
I normally actually hate surprises, but this is always a fun one. So
really?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yes.
True.
I hate surprises.
True. Well, I asked you last time, well, maybe a couple times ago, about owning pets and things like that, and if you'd ever want to own a Bigfoot.
Oh.
And I figured I'd just continue the trend for tonight. However, I think this one's going to be a bit more interesting. We have some pictures, but even better, we have actual videos. So I was going to go with one Bigfoot story tonight. However, it was kind of short, and I'm like, there's quite a few more in here I was finding in the same area. So it'd be stupid not to mention them all, or at least most of them. So we got some videos, and these were like top ones. So,
okay.
Who knows?
How's that strawberry lemonade?
Patterson Gimlin. It's good.
Okay.
As long as I don't stay up, it doesn't keep me up all night. But
yeah.
Right now I can't seem to get to bed before midnight, anyways. So
you're telling me.
I don't know that it matters.
You're telling me 1:30 if I'm lucky.
I thought I'd have time to do some stuff last night. Nope, I didn't.
Which is why this comes in handy.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, so have you ever been to Utah?
Yes, I actually have.
Home of the famous Skinwalker Ranch.
I had to think about that. I have driven through Utah a couple of times, but have I stopped? Yes. For a moment to get gas in Beaver. Simply because its name was Beaver.
Boy, you can't tell me the name of a city like that.
Oh, trust me. When you got to the pilot there, it was well worth it with the type of merch they had.
Yeah.
well worth it. So no, so yes,
sure.
but no, I have not been to Utah, but yes, I have been to Utah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how far Provo is from Skinwalker Ranch. I only mentioned Skinwalker just because it's in Utah.
Provo is down by the bottom, I do believe. I drove through there.
Well, we're dropping into Provo tonight. I think some of these are pretty damn interesting. So the first event takes place in October 2012. Okay. If you Google this one, it is actually called Provo Canyon Bigfoot, and there's been more than one sighting. So, Provo Canyon, Utah. This part of the story I got from Fox 13, Salt Lake City. Provo Canyon, Utah. A Utah man camping with some friends near Squaw Peak and Little Rock Canyon in Provo Canyon.
Okay.
And he initially thought he had seen a deer when the event happened here. The man was camping. Probably repeat some of this here. This was October 12th, near Squaw. October 12th, Squaw Peak and Little Rock Canyon overlook. When they saw what they thought was a deer, it was up on the hill. So they figured they go up closer to see it. On their way up, they spotted what appeared to be a bear. So they did, after getting closer, realizing not a deer, they were already of the mindset that, oh crap, this is probably a bear. But when, in quotes, the monster stood up and looked right at us, they fled. So they thought it was a deer.
A deer.
Speaking of beer bears, you heard the movie
Cocaine Bear
is out.
Yes.
I'm just waiting to rent it. I'm curious. But
I am not.
Yeah, beer bear.
I am not. Oh, by the way,
I'm very curious.
I was absolutely wrong about the location of Provo. I thought I knew where it was. It is by Salt Lake City, and it's only 2.5 hours away from Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right. Well, so they thought this was a bear until it stood up.
Right. And it looked dead at
you're
them.
Gonna see what you're going to see what they mean in the video, because I was thinking like, okay, well, I'll wait to see the video. Then I saw the video and I was like, holy shit. That does not look like a bear. You're going to see. I'm curious what you have to say. So another quote from him. We had actually been standing there for a while. We had thought it was a bear up to that point, but when it stood up and looked at us, it was just a massive animal, said the video's uploader. So he goes by the name of Beard Card on YouTube. Look him up. You can see the full video. That's not his real name. He has remained anonymous. So, I mean, he's clearly, that goes to something, we talk about in some of these situations like the last week, credibility. Are they looking to make money off it? Not that, I mean, this stuff takes up people's time. So it's like, you know what? I don't think you can just go off if someone's making money off it. I mean, I totally get it, but you just never know. So he's remained anonymous. He did not want his real name to be made public. Quote, we don't know what it was. I mean, none of us really believe in Bigfoot, but we've talked about it over and over again since then. It happened on Monday, and all of us are positive that thing was not a bear. So I don't know how many people were in his group, but I know in the video, I did cut some of the beginning out. I just went straight to what we need to see. In the very beginning, you can see like 2 or 3 people standing there. There may have been more, but none of them thought it was a bear. They were positive, not a damn bear. So I am going to pull up the video for you. Curious to see your reaction. Give me just a second. And there is audio. Obviously, you're not going to be able to hear it through this. We will throw up the audio for you guys out there in YouTube land. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have a personal story of your own, especially about Bigfoot like this, I want to hear it. Let us know. We'll share it on here. Shoot us an email, obscuredr1@gmail.com. Let me bring this volume down since you can't hear it.
I'm leading in like
All
I
right.
could or something.
Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
You can't see my mouse pointer, but
I can.
You can see my mouse?
I can, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so right around there,
Oh,
I
maybe
believe
not.
that is no. So, right in the middle of the screen, just like a tad above middle, you'll see a little black patch behind the trees.
Mhm.
It's kind of just level with the top of that yellowish stick
Yeah,
sticking
I
up
see it.
on the left. Okay, so I believe that's where we're looking here.
Okay.
And let's play it. Yep, that's what they're looking at. So it's like laying down or something. I don't know, but you're going to clearly see it stand up. Pretty interesting. Provo Canyon, Utah, folks. Be careful if you go there because there's weird crap out there. Supposedly, allegedly. That's what she said.
Last night. Okay.
Oh, goddamn. Did you see that?
Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. I was like, what?
Hold
Here
the
is
fuck.
boom, right there.
You can very clearly
you're looking at
see what looks to be a shoulder and an arm.
It looks like a primate. That does not look like a bear. I've seen bears in person in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California. I went camping there every year. We'd see them almost daily, if not every other day, come down into the campgrounds. I don't know. I've seen one stand up, but I've seen them climb trees quickly. I've never seen one in a somewhat upright position that looks like this.
Correct. Because it almost looks like it's still bending at the knees while standing up.
Hard to tell, yeah. It, as is always the case, it seems to be natural with Bigfoot videos. There's just not enough detail.
I know. That's why I was squinting so hard in the beginning. I was like, I can't see.
Yeah, but, it was 2012, too. So, and the last part of the video right here, I'm going to play it. Boom, it gets all shaky. I cut out all the rest. They took off. They split. They started running. Mm-hmm. When that thing did that, they took off.
I don't honestly blame them. I would probably run for my life too. Bear or Bigfoot, yeah. I'm going to run. But the thing is, though, you can only have to run faster than your slowest friend.
Yes. Now, here is just a still shot. I just took a screenshot of it, zoomed in of this thing. Mm-hmm. This is zoomed in on that part. Now, obviously, the detail's not going to get any better zoomed in, but you can see kind of like the upper arm is much thicker. Like it looks like a beastly
primate.
Something.
It looks like a freaking silverback gorilla.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. I mean,
like a silverback gorilla broke out of the zoo and is just happily living in Provo Canyon.
Well, until 2012. That's unfortunate, though. The thing is, you just can't tell from these. And a lot of these are a long time ago. So who knows the quality of what they were using. Mm-hmm. Not their fault. I believe them. I believe they saw something on that. We'll get to more here, though, because Provo seems to be a hot spot.
Really?
Yep. We'll take a look here. So that was the date I gave you was October 12th, 2012. We're going to move forward to December 2nd, 2012.
Same area?
Okay. Well, let's listen and find out. Patience is a virtue.
I have none.
So, December 2nd, 2012. So, it was about a month to 2 months, just over a month later, maybe. A hiker was walking through the Utah hills near Provo Canyon. So, same general area, I guess, in 2012, when he spotted a large animal in the woods. As he approached, the animal stood up on two legs and started throwing rocks at him. What's that look for? You don't believe it?
No, it's not that. I've heard the throwing of rocks before in Bigfoot encounters.
Very common.
Yes.
Very common. Yeah.
That was a interesting type of look.
Well, I think you're going to have the same reaction with this video that you did before.
Let me go ahead and maximize this screen real fast.
Can't click on that. Okay, let's take a look here.
Enter full screen mode. Boom.
I had edited this, but this one didn't come through edited, so just forget that. So, there's audio again with this. Guys, go look it up. He had 3 recordings. It was all one recording, and then the second version of the recording, they had done some editing to clear it up. The third one is this one, which they say at the beginning of this now with cross-process enhancement. So they did some stuff to it, and it's definitely much clearer. Take a gander here. Tell me what you think. Just keep watching. Good part's coming. Good part's coming. Taking a squat in the woods there.
There's a bear shit in the woods. Oh Whoa. My God. It definitely just threw its shit at it.
Throwing rocks is a common
play it again. That was great.
Thing to be.
That thing?
Yeah, we'll play it again.
I don't think that was a rock. I think that thing just squatted in its hand and yucked it.
Yeah. I mean, gorillas do that in the zoo.
Yes.
We've had it thrown at us at the zoo. It's amazing.
Ew!
They're smart.
The fact that they'll just in their hand and then yuck it. Oh my God.
And they throw far, underhanded. They toss that stuff.
have you seen the guns on those things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Interesting, huh? What do you think so far?
That looked like a silverback gorilla costume and just some really tall person in it. But
okay,
I don't know. I've always been a believer in Bigfoot, but recently I've just kind of stopped believing it just because so many things are so, I feel fake,
unknown,
proven to be fake.
Yeah,
and then
of course
we've never found a body of one, and let alone a skeleton of one. And
this is just a still of it.
Yeah, it looks like a guy in an ape costume walking through the woods and then acting like it's squatting in its hand and yucking it.
Here's another one where it's throwing the rock. You can see at the very top of the Jesus.
Good job.
You can see at the very top of the screen here.
Cannot, but okay, we'll imagine.
The rock right there. Kind of just to the left of it, or whatever it was.
Whatever it threw. Yeah, I do see it.
So
interesting.
You can see it's got some good size to it.
Oh yeah.
Compared
that looks
to
like
it, of course,
like a baseball softball size.
Yeah. So I don't know why this guy's not running. It looks like he's pretty damn close.
I feel like he's definitely ran once he realized he was having something thrown at him. Just like the last video, it cuts out.
There was more video, but
okay.
not much you could really see. But I mean, I didn't get the sense of urgency in his voice or movements as it did in the other one. The other one, that thing stood up. They were like, "Oh crap, not a bear, gone." In the voice I got from the guy on this one, I am definitely not convinced of anything in this, other than it was probably. They probably knew who it was up there on the side of this mountain. Okay. So this one takes place in January, I believe, January 2019, I believe, around January 1st. So there's not much to the story here, other than they saw this thing up on the mountain and there's audio. They're pretty far away, and you can tell from how far they are that this thing definitely still looks fairly large, and they're commenting on that throughout the video, how
big it looks.
Look how far away we are. This thing's huge. But I'll send these videos to you, and listen to him. This guy, when he's talking, he's with his kids. They hop in the car and they drive down the road to get closer to the thing. I mean, when I say closer, I mean they're still far away, but they are much closer to get a better look. And at no time does he sound worried, concerned. And the way he is talking leads me to think that there's a much better possibility that this is just complete BS on this one. But
he
you'll see
also
what I
could
mean
be the
here.
type that thinks that he has every right to walk up to a bison and take a picture with it, and then act
You
upset
never
that he
know.
gets gored. So
Yeah,
that's that
yeah,
mentality. I feel like if someone is like, oh, this could be a Bigfoot, let's chase it down. It's the same mentality as
right,
let's go take a fucking selfie. I'm sorry, freaking selfie with a bison.
right.
Like,
Well, yeah. Let's take a look
okay,
here. I'm gonna leave the audio on it so I can hear it and kind of tell you what's
Mm.
going on. So he's just saying I was gonna get more footage of the Sasquatch.
all
He's talking about how big it is. Let's see.
that is
He's talking to his kids. He said, "I don't think it's human." Now it's going to cut out to where they got closer to it, or maybe they're already there. I guess they're already there. So this must be the later part where they've already moved
that
closer.
thing has to be 20 feet tall to be seen.
No, this is
You can
where what you're
spot that
seeing here
thing
is
from
where,
the moment this video starts.
yeah, and what you're seeing here, they've already driven closer. There was more at the beginning. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but the beginning doesn't even really matter that much, anyways. But yeah, so that's that one. Let's move back in time a tiny bit to September 2016, September 1st. Okay. I'm sorry. I keep telling you a date.
That's wrong.
It's not September 1st.
Oh man.
Yeah, it wasn't September 1st. The one before it wasn't January 1st. I was just labeling
You're just really
these
like
videos
onto
and pictures.
this first like kick. It's cool. I get it.
Well, let's see here. I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
So I'll set this up for you since you can't hear the audio. This is a lady and her daughter. They are driving to Provo Airport. It's a small municipal airport. Her name's Jane Everett. This was in September 2016. Her and her daughter driving past some farm fields and getting close to Provo Airport. They're driving along. Her daughter's in the back seat. Sounds very young, like not teenager young. And
Like
her daughter is the one that's just, I don't know. I'm going to say around 10ish, maybe younger. Her daughter is just videoing out the window, and she's mentioning, or the mom's mentioning, I forget, about the sunset that's out there that you'll see in this video. And it's a beautiful sunset, this and that. When we get to, I'm going to let the whole thing play. I did cut a lot out.
Okay.
When we get very close to the end, well, I'm not going to tell you, but when we get close to the end is when we're going to see the magic happen. And I will tell you, the daughter immediately, the split second that she saw what she saw, she's like, "Oh my God, what was that?" And mom's like, "Huh?" Because she's driving. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Take a look. Tell me what you think. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now. They got music on. Daughter had already made comments about the sunset, and boom. She goes, "What was that?" Right after you see that thing come into the frame, she goes, "What was that?" She sounds like she's like 6, actually. No joke. She sounds young. Well, obviously you can't tell anything from this, but immediately, like right about here, she goes, "What was that?" Because they're going so fast, So there's maybe like a good shot of it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, just a black silhouette.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Hunched
and
over.
There it is there.
It is hunched. Like
it looks like it is.
Yeah, like the past couple of ones. Maybe there's just a dude who loves walking around in an ape suit just to mess with people around Provo Canyon.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time people have done stupid stuff like that. So I like this one. The reason I like this one is because you can hear like the sincerity because it's this young child.
Children,
And
man,
children,
they'll tell you. They'll tell you with no
yes,
qualms.
they are ridiculously honest. And
Jesus.
Around the age of 6, I don't know how old this girl was. I'm just going off of some experience. She sounds as if she's around 6. They're around 5 or 6, my experience, when they're starting to lie and learning how to lie and just kind of manipulate and do those types of things. However, that seems to be when it's things that they want, things that they like, things they know about, not driving down the road and randomly there's something out there. Wow, what was that? Let's say that was her dad out there and they had planned this, right? And he's out there in some black suit or some gorilla suit. And he's like, okay, you sit in the back seat. Mommy's going to drive you to the airport and you video out the window. You're going to see me in the black suit. I'll be in this cornfield, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And make a comment. Say something like, what was that? You know that when they drive by, this girl, as young as she sounds, she's not going to be like, what was that? Like you hear her in the video and you're like, I believe her. She'd be like, it just wouldn't sound authentic.
There'd be probably
this was
like 100%
a giggle authentic. I
think. Like, I don't know. Kids have
there's daddy. Oh, what was that?
Or like, I almost feel like it'd be like, what was that? Like, like I'm saying it, but I also find this to be hilarious because daddy's in a gorilla suit outside and I'm videotaping him randomly. Like, unless this kid is
that's why not every
a freaking Oscar next year. Like, I tend to believe children more than adults.
Yeah, and that's why not every kid's an actor. Because it takes a lot to act and really really manipulate the audience and make them believe you are not you,
and that
you are this character.
Yeah, and then for a young child to be able to like understand and express so many emotions that well is not common.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying children can't express themselves. Like, Jesus, don't come for me in the comments. I'm just saying, like, on the level of child actors, like, that is impressive. That is a very impressive level of like self-awareness at a young age.
Yeah, and I'll send these videos to you when we're done, and you can listen to them later and
maybe have a different opinion about them.
Oh no, I don't think you will. I think I'm doing all right to explain it, but so we have a little bit more to go into, but we do have our last sighting. This comes up to us March 2017. This comes to us from the Utah DOT, Department of Transportation. So they have tons and tons of cameras. I think it said something like 1,100 cameras set up around the city. All that for probably traffic and all
Makes
that.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And
especially if they have to close like snow.
Yeah, they had caught some weird images on one of the cameras. I don't know how this was found and why this is a thing, but
people just sit there and watch.
Let's see.
Cameras? Like, how would they catch this?
I'm going to get you the correct picture first here, since I got these backwards. Let's see here. Not much to the story. I don't know that we need much on this, but they don't know what it is. And here you go. Here's picture number 1. Up at the top, just to the right of middle. And it's being questioned, some type of apparition or possibly Bigfoot. Bigfoot was mentioned, so that's why it's in the Bigfoot category.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me pull up the other one here. This is going to be obviously zoomed in when you see it. So here's zoomed in on the thing. I mean, it
literally looks like it's saying, hi.
It looks like a person.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100% looks like a person. I mean,
now I guess
I guess
we'd have to have more.
Though? Like,
yeah, we'd have to have more information on like the area and where this was out. Was this just out like 20 miles in the middle of nowhere?
Can we talk about the eyes real fast? Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw. And what I noticed in those eyes was how they seem to be elongated from left to right in an upward slant.
Yes, in an almond shape.
That looks like every gray alien.
Right.
rendition we've seen.
The little aliens going nanu nanu.
Yeah, but we know this picture is not faked. So that's good.
But back to the question of how was this found? Like you said, and then like I said, do people literally just sit there and watch the cameras? Because that would be ridiculous.
My guess is they probably have some type of motion detection on these cameras, so that
some AI system.
Basically what it would do is just log an event, like when you if you have security cameras at home, mine will just pop up all day long. Hey, motion detected here, motion detected there, and then later when you go in the app or online, you can go to events and see each one of those ones where you got a notification. That's my guess on that.
There has to be some really intelligent AI doing all of this.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So let's see these other pictures.
That was it.
Just that? Okay, so
yeah, that's all the pictures from it. It's just mainly that one snapshot. There's no video to that one. I
mean, very well could be a
there
human.
Is
very well could be an apparition.
Yeah, and if you look it up online, this was in Wasatch County. Now, if you were to Google it, so again, this was March 2017, guys.
Wasatch?
This was from the Department of Transportation. So if you were to Google it later on, you'll see, if you Google DOT, Bigfoot, maybe, Utah, there's a news show where they talked about this real quick. And they didn't say much, right? Because they don't know, but they were questioning it. So you can see a video there. There's no video of this thing, but it's just this newscast going on. So
Wasatch County is indeed Provo.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. I didn't look it up. I figured it was because these were all Provo anyways. But so, that brings me to some others that we found here. I've mentioned in the past a cool website, and a lot of you guys out there are probably familiar with this website if you're listening to Obscured Reality, BFRO.net. BFRO, Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. As I mentioned in the past, you can go on there and click on your state, click on your area. Like you can go on the map and just narrow it right down. You can go in and filter it for tons of different counties and look for the county you live in, see if there's been any sightings, and you can read all the stories that people have reported, and they investigate a lot of them. And so here's a bunch that popped up. Just to give you an idea, if any of you out there are in Utah, comment down below, let us know if you might have seen something out there too. So September 2005, and they have these listed as classes, so like Class A, Class B, Class C. I did not. I don't know what those classes stand for. However, as we look at some of these real quick, I think we'll get an idea. These are just Class A's and B's, and I think these are the best types of sightings. But I think we'll get an idea. So, Class A, September 2005, a husband and wife looking at fall colors have a daytime sighting in Spanish Fork Canyon area. Okay, so this is a daytime sighting. Spanish Fork Canyon. Now we move to Class B. This is July 2004, so a year prior. Class B, family finds a footprint while hiking near Aspen Grove. Move to March 2003, Class B. Possible Bigfoot scream heard by hikers in Rock Canyon in the Wasatch Mountains. Winter 1998, Class B. Possible sighting at the base of Mount Timpanogos, the west side of the mountain. So now we're going to travel way back. Well, that was 98, sorry. So we're going to go back 2 more years, May 1996, Class A. Hiker has daylight sighting in Grove Creek Canyon. And then we have October 1982, Class B. A deer hunter finds a series of footprints on Y Mountain. The letter Y is the name of this mountain.
What?
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So So yeah, BFRO is a good source, guys, to if you want to
There are a
see
lot of sightings in a very small
yeah,
area, and I'm gonna say like,
if you want to see a lot of
mhm.
sightings and read about some good place to go. It's really interesting to hone in on your area, your county, and see you. I I'd put a little bit of money on it. I think you'll be surprised
I
if you
was.
look. Yeah, not that you have to believe it
Mhm.
or disbelieve it. I'm just saying I was very surprised at the area I live in. Now, very old sighting or two, and back when this place wasn't built up as much as it is
Mhm.
now, so there was still more dirt and grass fields and all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. So we weren't populated out as far as we are now in my area. Um, so that helps explain a little bit of
Mhm.
it.
Like how
And
old?
it's
Like from
not
the 60s
not
or
I don't
okay.
remember. I'd have to look. It was at least I think it was at least 70s or 80s.
Okay.
I'd have to look, but
Yeah, there was one in my
yeah.
area as well. Oddly, very oddly enough, that
Yeah,
surprised me as well. And it was a really recent one, but apparently we have our own like swamp monster story up here, so I guess it
right.
all fell in together.
Well, with where you live though, there's a ton of vegetation. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're living in a forest, but not, you know.
Not so much my area anymore. A lot of it has also been built up, like a lot. Like Notre Dame has taken over
Yeah.
pretty much the
Well, I'm not
entirety.
saying yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it is a forest. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
There's a lot of
it's like living in
fields.
a flat forest but
Mhm.
not quite as foresty, and then there's also farmland.
Oh, lots and lots of
And
farming. But we do have we like north of us there is a lot of much more like unincorporated land, like once you hit the Michigan
right.
border, since we're like right there on the Michigan border. Also, there is an
Uh-huh.
area of like peat moss south of us that I find really interesting. That
Okay.
one's kind of grovey, but you're gonna get more trees when you get north of the border into Michigan. Like that's really where you're gonna get like the
Yeah.
massively unincorporated, not developed areas.
Right.
Yeah.
But my point with where you're at is you have a lot of just open
Mm,
area
a lot, yeah.
where it's open with a lot of vegetation, or open without a lot of vegetation,
Mhm.
and you have farmlands.
Depending on what time of year.
And when you look at Bigfoots and the stories we've heard, and the areas that if they're real that they may frequent, we're talking about forests. We're talking about just uninhabited areas,
Mhm.
and it all goes uninhabited through there. Like, I mean, um, not completely uninhabited, but
Yeah.
compared to here, there's ways in and out without being seen,
True. Yeah.
and you get a lot of it up here in Northern California, Oregon, Washington. It's interesting. It's interesting. I highly recommend going bfro.net.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys.
Definitely.
Look at your area.
You'll be
I
surprised.
think you'll be
Oh,
surprised.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were.
100%. Yeah. I had something happen to me once, and I'm not going to go into the full story on this. This will be another show about personal stories up in this area, Nevada's.
Mhm.
When I went backpacking, like 50-pound pack up to like top of a mountain type lake. And this was on our day down. And I had something interesting, I think interesting, happen that, I can explain it away if I have
Mhm.
to. And I think I might have a good idea. But it's one of those things where you never know. Did I see something like literally not that far in front
The
of me?
6-year-old in you says, "What was that?"
That's what I did. I stopped. And looked around. I was like, I swear to God, there was something
Mhm.
there, and it was enough. It made me stop, and it made me look, and I'm like, there's no way, because there's too much tall brush, thick brush on both sides of the trail, especially the side that it went
Mhm.
to. Like, there's no way there was something there, because if it went up that way, which is what I thought I
Mhm.
saw, there's no way I wouldn't see it, hear it, seeing the brush move. There's just zero way. And then because I thought I saw something, the rest of the way down, probably about another half mile or so to a mile, where I waited for the other two people that were with me, I just had that eerie feeling looking behind my back because something I thought happened, and now I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't know if there's something there. There's bear in the area.
Man,
I don't know, but I
feel like a
what
bear you would hear, but like, I don't know, maybe a Sasquatch would, despite its
No,
size, be more agile because it's like aware.
no, these animals are super quiet. I mean, they have padded feet and all this. I've seen so many bears up there in the campgrounds. You don't hear 'em.
Really?
The only thing you hear, nope. The only thing you hear is the trash cans knocking over when they knock them over to pick through all the trash. You don't hear them. They're quiet. They could walk on fresh pine needles. You're not going to hear it. They can walk on twigs and branches and leaves. You're not going to hear them. You don't hear them. They are all of these animals out there. They're so damn
That is
quiet.
terrifying. I just would assume that a bear running through the woods would like create noise, but
quick story. When we were up there camping, I think it was that trip actually. We were down in the campsite. Our one friend left, and it was me and my brother. And we were having a campfire one night. Well, I had to go use the restroom, which was right down from our campsite. So he's sitting there at the campfire. Keep in mind, he made the dumb mistake of leaving his tailgate on his truck open with his bin of food sitting on it. Even though the bin was closed, doesn't matter. You don't play around with bears.
You gotta hang it.
They will get a cooler out from underneath a picnic table, a cooler that has a latch that completely turns, and they will open it.
They're so smart. So smart.
Yeah, my dad has a old Coleman metal cooler. It's got the claw marks on it from dents from opening it.
That's cool.
So I'm sitting there with my brother. We have a campfire, and our back is kind of to where the hills are. And I go down to use the restroom, and I come back, and I see some flashlights, and I am hearing some people up at our campground talking and people moving around. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I go up there, and there's a bear who had grabbed his thing and pulled it off into the trees about 20 feet away. And the bear is sitting there digging through it and eating and watching everybody. This thing came right up behind him. He had no clue it was there. That's how quiet they are. Like right up behind him.
That's
Yep. So yeah, they're not loud.
I just really expected something of that size. If running, it would just create noise. But wow, shows you how fast I would die in the woods. Again, you only have to run faster than your slowest friend.
Yeah, you would think it'd make noise, but they don't. Deer, I mean, I've seen it all out there. Deer, squirrels, I mean, obviously they're going to be quiet, but I've seen deer run. You don't hear them. I've seen bears run. You don't hear them. I've seen bear climb a tree. You barely hear the claws going into the tree. They're just, I mean, these padded feet.
Incredible.
They're able to do it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, with their size and weight. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think about these stories? Interesting. A few of the videos, I think.
Yeah.
Real or not, they're interesting.
There's a couple of them that, I mean, I don't believe any of them, first off, but there are a couple of them that I genuinely think that there is a shadow of a doubt in my mind just because how genuine, like, especially you said that the little girl was like, what was that? Like, again, kids can't hide secrets very well, but they...
Oh, no, not at all.
No.
Like 100%.
They will lie to you, yes, but they are very obvious when they lie. So
I don't tell my daughter secrets because she tells the people I tell her not to tell. I've told her, I'm like, I'm not telling you anymore.
That's
like surprises, like for birthday or something. I'm like, sorry, not telling you what it is.
Yeah, so I mean,
but
there are a few where I'm like, yeah, they've definitely saw something. There is a shadow of doubt in my mind simply because of like the sincerity of their voices, but for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, or no, this is some dude who really enjoys walking around that area dressed as a freaking ape. But again, considering how far back like the sightings have gone, okay, that's interesting. That's a little check mark on the hey, I could be very wrong box.
Come on, even this one, you think someone's screwing around? You think someone's screwing around on this one?
I don't know. Someone might be like super into being a furry, and it just happens to be a gorilla.
You got to listen to it too. I'll send
True,
these to you
yeah,
when
I
we're
do.
done.
Like I said, I need to listen to them so I could like form possibly a different opinion based on what I hear.
Right.
But from just watching it without any audio context, it looks like a dude in a gorilla suit who, like, you know, because remember the time that people would run around dressed as clowns for like craps and giggles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So like,
that's a good way to get shot.
That
these
is a
days.
great. I mean, I'm surprised no one got shot in the first place the first time, considering. But I mean, what if it's someone who's just like it's an OG furry and they just really enjoy running around like a gorilla and like acting like a Bigfoot?
Tell you what. I just sent you the video. That one that I just pulled up. I just sent you that one. And then guess what?
You sent me the other one?
I just sent you the second one.
Okay. Let me mute myself and watch this real fast.
And then guess what? Oh, you don't have to mute it.
Okay.
I just sent you the third one. And then guess what? I just sent you the fourth one. Watch them in that order that I sent them. Just cut some video out for you guys while she's watching these.
Really...
like, share, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. What's up? You watched that first one?
Yeah, I did. I want to hear this kid. That's the one I was waiting for to download.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to the audio on that one because they take off. They run.
What was that?
Okay. Oh, you're not watching them in order.
No, I really wanted to see the kid. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to hear the kid. Yeah, no, I'll definitely go through them and.
Yeah, I mean they're short. Yeah. It's exactly what I pulled up.
Gonna get more footage of the Sasquatch.
What's the Sasquatch? That's the one I haven't heard in a while. Like no, but like.
Hey, seriously, look how big it is.
Yeah, it's freaking huge. Like.
Yeah, it is. In the first part of the video, they're farther away, and you can see. I mean,
it's a Sasquatch.
It's definitely big.
Yeah, like
this is the one where I said they don't sound sincere at all. And you go on and look up the whole video, and you'll hear them, especially at the beginning. I'm like, BS, no way.
That was louder than I expected it to be.
Dramatic.
Okay, he definitely does sound a little nervous. Oh no. Oh,
well, he was running. Was that the rock throwing one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was running to get over there to follow it.
Yeah, I think I had zoomed in somehow onto it. Okay, yep. Walking down. Yeah. Squatting.
Sounds like Blair Witch Project.
It kind of looks like the Blair Witch Project too. See, I wish the videos hadn't like just cut right there. I wish that they had been like absolute G's and just continued to record, so that I could have gotten a better grasp on it. Okay, did a few of them go longer, or was that like just okay?
Yeah,
because like
a lot of them had more in the beginning and
I'm
at the end.
I'm more concerned about the end part after,
for the purpose of like that I think it's the one where they're driving, the third one. The whole beginning of that one's important because they're still filming it up on the mountain, but they're not as close. They had cut out, hopped in the car, and drove down the road to get closer to that part of the mountain. But the whole beginning is important because of their talking, what they're saying, how they sound, how they're saying things. Yeah. And I immediately from that, I was like, oh, come on. Like, that's your reaction? No.
I just want to see the one where the guy gets the rock thrown at him, or possibly the poop thrown at him, simply because, like, I want to see...
Supposedly that wasn't the only rock.
Really? Because I want to see the trajectory of that rock, because it doesn't look like it comes near him at all at the very last...
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like it's going this way.
It's in a much different direction, and according to that story, it was multiple instances of that. That's the only one on video, at least that I found. But I mean, I'd say those are pretty good. I think they're up there with Patterson Gimlin. I think unfortunately for Patterson Gimlin, they had a little too much detail, maybe.
True. Yeah. Again,
but I think these are up there.
I don't know. I mean, they definitely saw something. Is it a man in a suit? Possibly. Is it an OG furry? Possibly.
Mhm.
Is it actually a Sasquatch? Is that man so awesomely used the phrase for? Then possibly.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll hear him if I can unedit those videos and put the clips back in very simply, I think. And you'll hear him in that one where they went driving real quick. And at the beginning, he jumps back and forth from Sasquatch to human. And look at the person. And it's like the way he said it was like
He almost forgot to continue
set
to
up.
call it a Sasquatch.
It seems set up.
Who uses
Right.
Sasquatch anymore? It's like,
yeah,
I've only heard Bigfoot.
I could be
recently.
completely wrong.
Who still uses Sasquatch though? Like for
Depends who you're talking
True.
to.
Y'all, yins,
So,
you guys,
yeah,
you all.
yeah. Sightings in Texas too, guys. Look them up.
That does
BFRO.net.
not
I
surprise
highly
me.
recommend
Yes.
it. If nothing else, it's an interesting read. So
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
it's for sure. Yeah. So all right. Well, any final comments on Bigfoots? Not necessarily these, or maybe these.
I'm hoping for the day
No
they
sightings
find
of your own?
No. I'm just hoping for the day that they find hard evidence of it, so then I could be like, oh, I was so wrong. Sorry, guys. Like, I do hope that day happens. I do hope that we find a skeleton or a living specimen or like a patch of fur on a tree that we can't actually DNA test to anything in the wild. Like, I am looking for that piece of hard evidence. Like,
well, living is going to be the best option. To go what you just said there real quick about a patch of hair. Supposedly they found plenty of hair fibers. I mentioned this on a Bigfoot episode we did somewhat recently. I think it was myself and Brad and Mike. You had signed off. And
that was the day I was super tired.
There was a video I'd seen a long time ago. And this was a show.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those History Channel shows or whatever it was, like Finding Bigfoot or something.
I remember that show. Yeah.
And this one took place in, it was Alaska or Canada. I think it was Alaska. And it was this like mountain lake out there that basically the only way to get there is by plane, and plane that lands on water. And so this is what they did because they were having issues, I guess. And there's this one house right there at the lake. And they had, throughout the whole show, you hear things at night. You hear what is your typical alleged Bigfoot noises, screams at night, throwing things at the house. I believe one or two of the guys were even like, I'm going inside. And they went inside and they were still hearing stuff. So what they did, because I guess they were, I want to say they had heard noises or something, or they were having some issue with supposed Bigfoots around the front door of it. So what they did is they took some wood, like plywood or something like thin, and put like nails or screws up through it, and they set it down in front of the door to try and get some samples of something. And they came back one day, whatever the deal was, they wound up having some hair samples. And I mentioned this on this previous episode, I think it was the Allegheny, Pennsylvania Bigfoot. Every time these samples get sent in and all this, they get stuff back. And a lot of the times, what they're supposedly coming back as is like just no known animal, nothing. Like it doesn't match anything. There's nothing close. They just don't know what it is. However, same as like UFOs, aliens, things like that. If there's any real scientist out there that has looked into any possible evidence for anyone, they're not going to come out and say that they're the ones who did it. They're always anonymous because they don't want to be associated with it. So that is kind of what I was saying about this, about hair samples and things being sent in with Bigfoots. It's happened. They've come back as, we don't know what the hell it is, and some of them look odd. But personally, to me, it means nothing unless you're going to show me the report from this guy, and we're going to see the guy's name. I don't care if we see him on video. I want to know who did it.
Right.
I want to be able to look into him and see his credentials and see if this guy's legit, see if there's any issues, because otherwise it's all hearsay, and hearsay always sucks because you just don't know, So it's happened. And then
There also
the
they also probably may not have been able to get enough of a quality DNA sample off of whatever like they were given in order to do a full match. Like there's a high possibility that, you know, it could have sat out for too long. The DNA could have been damaged, or there just wasn't enough of it. Like there are so many things where the sample wasn't large enough. Like there are so many things that could go wrong with that. So, I mean,
yeah. And then the thing you mentioned earlier about skeletal remains, that's always been a question, right? I've questioned myself, like, Jesus, you think we'd be finding something, but you know, when you think about it, and then you kind of look into that a little bit, bears die, deer die, squirrels, chipmunks, birds, they all die. You're not finding bones of them laying around, right?
I mean, you do. I have.
They die. Other animals.
Well, they eat the meat.
Yeah, but it's not common.
Yeah,
it's not common, especially where they live. Think of bears. A bear dies. Well, what happens? Other scavengers are going to come. They're going to eat it. It gets torn apart. Pieces get dragged here. Pieces get dragged there. And then there's also this line of thinking that Bigfoot bury their own. I'm like, okay, we're getting too human-like. Like, is it possible? You know, I mean, would they really care about burying them? I mean, burying, you're going to know more about this than me, but I mean, doesn't burying people have some like maybe some type of like religious background to it? Like, there's no necessity to do it other than to keep them from rotting out in the open air and smell.
Sanitary thing. Because like some religions would place them in tombs, like in cliff sides. Others would burn them, and like the smoke would rise to the sky, and that was their ascension.
Yeah.
Others would scatter ashes.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is there something behind it rather than a really good reason for doing it? Sanitary, 100% makes sense. Yeah, but I mean, where did it originate from? Was it because of that, or because they believe this, like you just said, their spirits going up to wherever?
I would have to look into that, but I feel like the original, like, it was sanitary reasons originally. I don't believe there's a religious purpose behind it.
And if Bigfoot's real, I don't imagine a creature like this taking the time to bury their own, you know?
Especially because they're solitary creatures, and for them to continue to populate the wilds of the world as they do, like, there needs to be enough of them in an area in order to keep a breeding population.
Which supposedly is not possible. Some scientists or a scientist, I'm not sure, have looked into that. And they came to the conclusion that there's no way this thing's real. They said that it's just not, it wouldn't be sustainable. There's not enough of them. The population would need to be so big that, or these things just have stupid long lifespans, right? And the conclusion they came to looking at data and stuff is just not possible. Of course, it doesn't mean it's not.
You know what also makes screaming sounds at night? Cougars.
Birds? I don't know. Wait, like the over 40-year-old ones or the animals?
The big kitties, which could still be the over 40, I guess, if you think about it. But the actual
no proper wording.
Four-legged, the actual four-legged ones. Like cougars make screaming sounds. Like there are a couple of animals that you're just like, that's the sound it makes. Like, have you ever actually heard what a fox sounds like? It is not what you would assume it to sound like. So, I mean,
I've heard what foxes sound like. I've never heard what a cougar sounds like.
I'm just going to walk away from that one before I walk myself into a trap. Like I said,
good thing Mike and Brad aren't here.
It's a trap. Don't answer that. I mean, and then like, they say, oh, it stinks. Like, you know what else stinks? Skunks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
They stink. I mean, there's
most animals out there.
Most animals do, but I mean, like, they're like, oh, it's a pungent smell. Yeah, probably because y'all scared a skunk and it fucking, sprayed or something. Like, didn't they call them swamp skunks or something? Like, that's one of the other names. Probably because it's a skunk.
Well,
just saying, but
it just smells horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I need hard evidence at this point to believe in it. There's just so many
Yeah.
he said, she said, or hearsay, like you said, or
right.
Just not enough concrete evidence for me to truly believe in it.
Yeah.
Which is sad because at one point I was like, yeah, totally. And then 20 years passed and still no improvement on that front.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're interesting nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
So there is that. But yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, let's probably wrap this one up. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of along the same lines, and I want it to be real. Yeah. I really do. Like, I think it'd be so cool, regardless of what that means for us. I think it'd be cool as hell. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd love, like, if these things were real, I'd love to see one, but I'd also hate to see some of them caged up like as a zoo, because it would happen. I already don't like zoos. I like going to zoos and seeing them, but it's just, you think about these animals just trapped in cages and blah 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 whatever, and they can't go anywhere other than this little plot of land they're subscribed to. It's like, I'd hate to see that happen, but it'd be cool as hell if these things were real. Or I really hope they are, man. That'd be awesome. But then I'd be a little bit more cautious out in the forest. However, they don't have a tendency, according to stories, to hurt humans. So there are a few stories of them taking people, kids, adults. There's some stories about that. Yep. So, all right, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment too. What you like, what you don't like, anything, doesn't matter. If you have personal story of your own, Bigfoot, alien abduction, UFO, UAP, I have some UAPs, shoot them over to our email, obscured.r1@gmail.com. Pointless to say .com after everything, unless it's like a .net,
True. It's very true.
shoot them over. We'll share them on the show.
Don't forget to hit that bell. So that you have a notification every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. A new episode drops every week at Friday.
Yep. Very true. We'll let you know if we change the time on that. But 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, if they use that.
I think so.
Verbiage anymore.
I believe so.
If we take live callers at some point, I'm hoping to, then we'd love to have some of you on the show as well and tell your own story if you want. Anonymous is fine with us or not. And we're gonna definitely catch you on the next one. I'm out. You out?
I'm out.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check back with us often for new episodes. Feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Obscured Reality.